Alright nerds, gather round. Today, we're diving headfirst into the wild world of programming with the most iconic newbie project, the Hello World program. It's like the first baby steps you take before you can run a marathon. Or, in this case, before you accidentally crash your computer with a rogue line of code. But here's the twist. We're not just stopping at Hello World. Oh no, that would be too easy. We're going to take this simple program and, over a series of increasingly questionable decisions, turn it into a monstrosity of bad coding. Think Frankenstein's monster but with semicolons and brackets instead of bolts and stitches. So buckle up, Buttercup, because we're about to embark on a journey that will make you question everything you thought you knew about coding. And who knows, you might even learn a thing or two about what to do. Okay, so first things first, we need a baseline. A pristine, innocent Hello World program before we corrupt it with our coding shenanigans. We're going to use Python for this because, well, it's pretty darn beginner-friendly. Plus, the syntax is clean, which will make our descent into madness all the more obvious. See? It's beautiful in its simplicity. Just a few lines of code to make the computer say hello world. It's like the Mona Lisa of coding, except way less likely to get stolen. But trust me, this masterpiece is about to get a whole lot more abstract. Now I know what you're thinking, Hassan, how can you possibly make this worse? Oh, just you wait, we're just getting started. This is like putting a drop of hot sauce in a bowl of chili. It's there, but it's not the main event, yet. Let's kick things off by introducing some completely unnecessary complexity, because why say something simply when you can say it in the most convoluted way possible, right? We're going to replace our nice, straightforward variable with something a little more creative. There we go. Now we're talking. Who needs clarity when you can have cryptic variable names that even you won't remember in 5 minutes? It's like trying to read hieroglyphics after a whole pot of coffee. And to really spice things up, let's throw in a completely pointless loop. We'll make it print hello world 5 times, because why not? It's not like we have anything better to do, right? Now let's talk about formatting, because nothing says I'm a coding genius like making your output completely unreadable. So far, our hello world has been pretty standard. But that's just not the Hassan way. We're going to add some special characters, mix up the capitalization, and throw in a few random line breaks for good measure. It's like a ransom note written by a drunk unicorn. Sure, it technically still says hello world, but only if you squint really hard and tilt your head just right. And isn't that what coding is all about? Making life difficult for yourself and everyone else who has to look at your code? Let's be honest, no coding session is complete without a few errors. They're like the spice of life. Except instead of making things taste better, they make you want to tear your hair out. So let's intentionally inject some errors into our masterpiece, shall we? I'm talking typos, syntax errors, the works, and look at that. We've got ourselves a beautiful red error message. Isn't it glorious? It's like the computer is judging our every keystroke. But wait, there's more. Let's try dividing by 0. Because everyone knows that's a recipe for disaster. Boom, another error. We're on a roll now. You know what this Hello World program really needs? Features. And not just any features, mind you. We're talking about completely unnecessary, over-engineered features that add 0 value to the program, but make it 10 times more complicated. Let's start by creating a function to print Hello World, because typing those 6 characters directly is way too mainstream. And while we're at it, let's add some input validation, even though the user is literally just trying to print a greeting. There you have it. A Hello World program so complex, it makes NASA's code look like child's play. Now, for the piece de resistance obfuscation, we're going to make our code so convoluted and unreadable that even we won't be able to decipher it. It's like taking a perfectly good recipe and translating it into ancient Greek, and there you have it, a masterpiece of obfuscation. This code is so secure, even the NSA wouldn't be able to crack it. Of course, it's also completely useless, but hey, at least it's secure, right? Now let's talk about performance, or rather, the lack thereof. We're going to make our Hello World program so slow, it'll make a snail look like a cheetah on a sugar rush. We'll start by adding some nested loops, because nothing screams efficiency like making your computer do the same thing over and over again for no reason. And to really grind things to a halt, let's throw in some recursion, just for good measure. There we go. Our Hello World program is now so slow, it's practically running in reverse. It's like trying to run a marathon through quicksand. Well, there you have it. We started with a simple Hello World program and, through a series of questionable decisions, turned it into a monstrosity of bad coding. We've seen it all: unnecessary complexity, unreadable formatting, intentional errors, over-engineering, obfuscation, and performance degradation. It's been a wild ride, and I'm honestly surprised our computers haven't burst into flames yet. But hey, at least we learned something, right? We learned that writing clean, efficient, and maintainable code is important. We learned that over-engineering and obfuscation are not your friends. And most importantly, we learned that sometimes the simplest solution is the best solution. So there you have it. We took a perfectly good Hello World program and completely butchered it in the name of science. And entertainment, of course. Hopefully you learned a thing or two about what to do in your own coding adventures. Remember, kids, coding is like building a house of cards. One wrong move, and the whole thing comes crashing down. So, keep your code clean, keep it simple, and most importantly, keep it fun. And if you ever find yourself tempted to write code like this, well, just don't. Your fellow developers will thank you for it.